Aloha, everyone. Welcome back to our Seasider series for today. This is our last Zoom session for the Seasider series this week. So we're thankful for everyone who has participated. It's been a lot of fun this week. And yeah, it was just a really good experience. And we're excited for our last session today as well. So thank you guys so much. And so if you guys didn't see today and yesterday, we're talking about the different fun activities and locations on the island. And so today is the part 2 of that. And we have a presentation to share. So we'll get started with that. And for anyone who hasn't met me yet, my name is Caden. I am a student assistant here at International Student Services. And I'm in charge of our Engage and some of our activities. And I think once again, it's just going to be me today. A lot of the time we have Vinay with us, but he's been very busy lately. So, but he's right next to me. You might hear his voice if he has to talk to someone. All right, let me share my screen and we can get going. All right. So, as I stated, Seasider series, the summer kickoff theme, the final day, and today we're talking about part 2 of the fun on the island. So, yesterday, we talked about basically the different fun activities to do on the North Shore and areas closer to campus, because the North Shore is very well known for all of the beaches and hikes and surfing that it has. And so we covered a lot of those things. And then today, we'll be discussing some of the best hikes on the island because I didn't get to cover any of the hikes yesterday. And we'll also be talking about the other areas of the island because the North Shore isn't the only place where there's fun things to do. Specifically, we'll talk about things on the west side of the island, as well as the Honolulu area, and as well as just other random fun locations on the island. So, first, I thought it would be good to, there's Danae. First, I thought it would be good to talk about some of the hikes closest to campus. So these are hikes that are located right within Laie. And so if you don't have access to a car or don't feel like taking the bus one day, then these are great hikes to just walk to and join and go on. I mean, yeah, when you don't have a car. So they're located like right near campus. So the first one is often called PCC Falls. I don't even know what the actual official name of it is, but everyone calls it PCC Falls basically because it's located like kind of right behind the PCC and right behind campus. And this is a shorter hike, so it's pretty good for, you know, doing one of your first few hikes. You basically follow this creek down and cross it a few times, but it's not too long. And it ends at this little waterfall that you can jump off of. So it's a good hike. A lot of students do it when they're new to campus. It's definitely one that I'd recommend checking out. A fun thing to get to know other people as well if you go in a group. And yeah, the other one, Laie Falls, is not located as close to campus, but it's still within Laie, so you can walk there to the start of the hike. This one is a lot longer than PCC Falls. So PCC Falls, I don't remember how long it is, probably like 2 or 3 miles in total. Laie Falls is like 8 miles, I want to say. So this one is a more big deal of a hike, I guess. Like you would make more of a day out of it. And this one goes back into the mountains, so you'll work your way up, walking up these mountains, but it's not super steep or anything, just long. And then at the end of it, you come to these waterfall, Laie Falls, and there's a rope on the side that you can actually climb up to get on top of the waterfall. It's a cool hike as well. Both of them are pretty fun. Good hikes to do. So then talking about the more broader North Shore area, there are plenty of beautiful hikes to do. And I mean, there's so many hikes on the island, like I'm not even going to be able to cover even like a fraction of them, but you know, I'm just gonna try to recommend some of the best hikes and some of the well-known hikes that I know a lot of people like to do. So one of them is Sunset Pillbox, and if you were in our Zoom meeting yesterday, we talked about Sunset Beach, which is located probably like 15 minutes away from campus if you're driving, and it's one of the most popular beaches on the island. And Sunset Pillbox is located right across the road from Sunset Beach, and it's another pretty short hike, not too long. It's kind of steep though, but another one that's good for just a more casual hiking experience. And it has a really pretty view once you reach the top. There's a lot of these hikes have these pillboxes, which are like, I think they were originally used by the military in World War II. But now World War II isn't going on, so now they're just kind of these abandoned, like concrete box things, basically. So these hikes go to these pillboxes, and they always have really good views of the island. So this is one example of that. And this is one of the most popular hikes to do as well. And look over and you can see the Sunset Beach and everything. Another hike on the North Shore that's pretty close to campus is Crouching Lion. This one's also probably like 15 minutes away, maybe even 10 minutes. It's in the opposite direction of Sunset Pillbox. And this one, as you can see, this one's also not too long, but it's pretty steep and can be kind of treacherous. But once again, another favorite of people visiting the island and students to do. And this is one of my favorites as well to do on the island. I've done it 3 times, I think. But yeah, it's nice. It's not super long, and I would say probably has the best view of any of the hikes that we've talked about so far. It goes over the whole ocean and it kind of juts out. It's pretty awesome. And it's called Crouching Lion because supposedly the mountain that you go on like looks like a crouching lion. I don't know where people got that from. I've never seen the lion, but it's really good. Definitely recommend. All right.
How's everybody?
Good.
Good. Brother Ted, our counselor, our advisor, walking by. All right, next, I want to talk about some of the hikes around more of the Kaneohe areas. Kaneohe is the town that's probably about 40, 45 minutes away from campus, but there's a lot of stores and restaurants as well as hikes around the area that people visit a lot. So one of them, I'll talk about this one first, Honolulu Falls. It's located near this area, about 40 minutes away. This hike is not as well known as some of the other hikes that I've been talking about, but I think that it's one of the more fun hikes to do because once again, it's not the most treacherous or demanding hike, not crazy long, and the end is pretty cool. It was hard to find a picture that really did it justice because the waterfall goes a lot higher than this picture makes it look like. And the best thing about it, in my opinion, is that you can climb off this waterfall and jump off, but there's also a spot on the side that you can't really see here, but there's a spot that you can climb up to, and it goes to this really high cliff, and you can jump off of it from way high up. It's really scary, but it's something really fun to try as well. So there's like 3 different levels to jump off of actually. There's this one, then there's one on this side that's a little bit higher, then there's one up here that's way high. So I think that's one of the more fun hikes to try as well. And one of the lesser known ones, so it won't be as crowded as some of the other hikes get. And then on the other end of the spectrum, near the Kaneohe area, is one of the most famous hikes on the island, Stairway to Heaven. And this hike, everyone always talks about doing it. And it's one of the prettiest hikes on the island. But there's 2 sides to get up to the hike. And the side with the stairs is actually illegal. And they have like security guards at the bottom, and if you get caught by the security, then you can get like $1,000 fine or something really crazy like that. So Gideon, our student manager, says don't get caught. But there's also a back way. There's a back way that is legal to do that goes to the same spot, and that way is a lot longer. It's also like probably around 8 miles, I'm guessing, or something. So it's kind of an all-day thing, but it's a really fun hike, really pretty. I definitely recommend. I haven't done the stair side because, like I said, I'm trying to get fined. But I have done the back side, and I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, if you do choose to do the stair side, then yeah, just make sure don't get caught. A lot of people go really early in the morning to avoid getting caught.
Which one?
But of course, I'm not going to recommend that because I am a good example. All right, next moving on to hikes on the south side of the island. So these are hikes that are more closer to Honolulu. And so these hikes would be more around like an hour away to get to. And both of these hikes that I have listed on here are some of the most popular hikes on the island. And I feel like I say that for every single hike I've talked about, but these ones are for real, like tons of tourists visit them, especially because they're located near Honolulu where a lot of tourists stay. So the first one is Diamondhead, and this one is located like right next to Honolulu. And as you can see, it forms this kind of crater. It's known as Diamondhead Crater, and you can hike it. This one is like a paved trail, so it's not as much of a challenging hike. I mean, it's kind of steep, but it's not very long, and it's a paved trail, so it's not too hard, not too long. And it's a pretty cool view of, you can see Honolulu as well as the crater, so it's pretty cool. Another popular one, not as popular as Diamondhead. Like Diamondhead and Stairway to Heaven are some of the most well-known ones, I would say. This one pretty popular, but not as well-known. It's Cocoa Head. This one is also a crater, kind of like Diamondhead. But for this one, you can see you walk up these train tracks that go up the mountain, basically. It's not very long, but it's like super tiring and steep because you're basically walking up these train tracks that kind of turn into stairs, and it gets really steep. So it's like super tiring, super strenuous, but you know, you can take all the time you want and you can reach it eventually. Both of these hikes get pretty hot as well, so make sure to bring lots of water and stuff if you go on these ones. But they're both pretty fun. I like Cocoa Head. All right, and then now, other than hikes, there's also, I mean, both of these ones are kind of hikes. They're like semi-hikes, but kind of not hikes. But they're just other fun things to do on the island. So one of them that's really popular is Chinaman Pat. So this is this rock formation that is in the middle, that juts out of the water here. And so to do this, you actually go to this beach, and when it's low tide, you can actually walk through the water to the Chinaman's Hat, and then there's a little short trail that goes up to the top of it. And that one's another popular one to do. I just did it a few months ago, and it was lots of fun. And someone asked, is there any dive center close by? So I assume you're talking about scuba diving, and this is something that we talked about yesterday as well. So I don't know about the random scuba diving dive centers, but the thing is, we have a school dive club, and it's for scuba diving, and you can join the club and you have to pay a fee to rent the equipment. It's like a few $100s, I think. But I joined the club one of my semesters here, and it was a lot of fun. And they'll give you the gear to use, and they'll help you get certified for scuba diving. So first you'll practice in the campus pool, and then eventually you go out to the actual ocean and get to scuba dive there and look at the reefs and stuff. And it's really cool. it's something I'd recommend. So if you want to do scuba diving, then I would say to do it through our school dive club that you can join within our different clubs here at BYUH. Oh, and the person asking is a dive master. So I'm sure you know much more than I do, but about it, because I only did it one semester. But I would, yeah, join the campus dive club for sure and get in contact with them, and they will know all the great spots for scuba diving. And then additionally, other than Chinaman's Hat, there's Makapu'u Lighthouse. And this is kind of a hike as well. It's like a paved walkway that goes to this lighthouse on the eastern side of the island. I think it might be the most eastern point on the island. And this one is cool because sometimes you can see whales off in the distance in the water, and it's just a really pretty location. There's also tide pools that you can go down to at the bottom. There'll be these holes in the ground. They shoot out water from the tide, and so that's pretty fun. All right. So then I mentioned how I would also talk about just some of the things to do in other areas of the island other than the North Shore. So one part of the island is the west side of the island that I think doesn't get visited super often by students because it can be really far away. It can take up to 2 hours to get there depending on where on the west side you go. But I think that it has some of the prettiest beaches on the island, and it has some nice hikes to do there as well. And the west side gets really hot. It's the hottest, driest side of the island. And so, especially in the winter when it's a little bit cooler or rainy on campus, the west side is usually still a lot more sunny and warm. And so it can be really fun to visit. Definitely something to visit at some point. And there's beaches like all down the western coast. So I didn't say any specific beaches, but there are plenty of beaches to do. And then one hike that I've done on the west side is this cave hike. I don't remember what it's called, but it's located right across from one of the beaches. And so it's a fun day to just go to the beach, and then you can walk over to the cave hike and go up to the side of this mountain where this cave is, and then go back and chill on the beach again. So the west side is a fun place to visit. And then another area where are things to do, of course, is Honolulu. And so as I mentioned before, Honolulu takes about an hour to get to by car. Take the bus, might be closer to 2 hours. The buses are slow. But in Honolulu, there's lots of different things to do. There's lots of different places to eat. There's a shopping mall that students visit a lot called Ala Moana. And then it's just fun to, walk around and explore the city and see the different things to do there. Of course, there's beaches in Honolulu as well. They are probably some of the most crowded beaches because it's the most populated area on the island. But it's a fun place, lots of things to do. Definitely something to visit. And the great thing about Honolulu, as well as the other town I mentioned, Kaneohe, they have stores like Walmart and Target and stuff that are a lot cheaper than any of the stores in Laie. So when you visit Honolulu and these other towns, it's good to buy groceries and things like that as well to get them for cheaper. And yeah, I think that was everything I had prepared today. It was a little bit shorter again because we were busy here in the office and I had to come in a little bit late, so I didn't have as much time to prepare. But like I said, there are a ton of more hikes to do on the island and tons of more just locations and fun things to do. And I barely even scratched the surface. And as you come here to Hawaii, you'll hear about different places and experience them for yourself. And it'll be super fun and awesome. And so now if anyone has questions about anything, then now would be the time to ask. So yeah, feel free to ask now. All right. No questions? All right. Okay. Let's see. Someone's asking, how busy is PCC right now? So PCC, it's getting busier, I think.
Yeah, yesterday we talked about that there was waiting for one of the restaurant had a 1.5 hour waiting.
1.5 hour
Waiting.
Wow. So yeah, sounds like it's getting busier and busier as things get more and more back to normal from COVID. So, you know, for a while PCC was completely shut down, and then as it started to open up, it was letting some guests in, but not super busy. But Vinay just told me that one of the restaurants had an 1.5 hour wait yesterday, apparently. So I guess it must be getting pretty busy. They don't let students in for free anymore, so I don't go there super often now. So I don't know exactly, but sounds like it's getting busier and busier by the day. Any other questions? All right. If there aren't any other questions, then I think we can wrap up for today. Oh, how about sports? So for sports, I'm talking about like on-campus sports activities. For those, I think they're pretty much in full, like normal. They have a bunch of different on-campus activities every week, and every day they have open gyms for basketball and badminton and ping pong and volleyball. So people go to play those all the time. So those are in full swing, just like normal, basically. All right. If there's no other questions, then like I said, we can wrap up. And with that, thank you to everyone who has attended our meeting today. Hope you enjoyed it and found some interesting or useful information as you make your way here to Hawaii. We're very grateful for all of your participation. We're so excited to be having you guys coming to campus soon, and we're excited to see you in the fall. And yeah, thank you for making the Seasider series great. This is a monthly series, so next month we will do this series again. And then we also just have regular activities that we do every week, like an international showcase and talk story sessions for practicing English. So be sure to join those as well. And next week is actually my last week in Hawaii before I go home for a short trip. So I'll be gone for a little bit after next week. So be sure to join to say goodbye to me. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and mahalo and aloha.